and good afternoon. Oof, we're a little off today. Hello everyone, welcome to the Performance Racing League. I am TAC Delta, this is Tier 3, and we are in Round 8 at the Baku City Street Circuit in Azerbaijan. Drivers are not out yet. It looks like we will see who is that. That's a Alfa Romeo of OTL Fab coming out. And we don't have any audio, so that's going to be an issue, so we can get that fixed. There we are. Beautiful, beautiful sound of a Ferrari engine. Looks like, so we're getting a weather report. We have a dry qualifying, but it will be full wet in the race. So this is going to be an interesting drive. Have any drivers changed their setup, do we think, to account for this wet race we're going to have? And that looks to be, that's Shep already in the wall. May have kept it actually out of the wall enough to not have any damage. Let's see that front wing. Yeah, it looks okay. I think he's fine. Shep trying to relive some memories with Roman numerals from a season or two ago. Let's see who else we've got out. So we have Tar Heels, who actually drove in the Tier 2 race today and had quite a decent lap. Had quite a decent race. Ended up DNFing, but that's okay. That's not his tier, so it's not as critical for him. We got, who else do we have? So we've got, let's run through our Fast 5. So that is Tar Heels, Lucasade, who has not come out yet, Scuderia Shep, and we're missing two. We're missing Share Shaft, and it's my own group that I made up, and I can't remember who belongs to it. Let's see. Jimmy Pull-Up also missing today, so we'll have some major championship implications. Making way here with Cher and Jimmy not participating, so it's all up for Shep, Lucasade, and Tar Heels. And we'll be on board here with Shep as he starts his lap. Drops into second gear coming through the first corner. Slowly works it out. Doesn't exceed 6. Come on, get it around the corner. There he goes. Perfect. Down to second gear. Now he's going to climb the gears. You have another straight here. It's very key to make sure you get traction on the way out of that corner. If you get a lot of wheel spin, you're going to be in trouble. Bringing it down to second again for this corner. Lots of 90-degree corners in Baku, so if you know how to take one, you know how to take them all, theoretically. Different amounts of curving in each section, though. Shep coming to the right. Ooh, goes a little wide into that. Yeah, that apex from that corner is so incredibly difficult to get it just right. He'll carry on, because you want to get a banker lap in. But man, that lap is difficult to get. That curve is one of the ones that you can just run over with not a problem. Same with this. Going through the tight castle section, which I think has a bark that's worse than its bite. The castle section is not incredibly difficult though. We have Vinny in the McLaren staying out of the way there. Very kind from Vinny. Nope, that would have been Dutch. Vinny's already started his lap. And OTL 7, the Alfa Romeo, setting a 142 out of the gate. We'll see if these drivers can bring it down any further, although those are pretty good qualifying results as it stands. Shit coming down the line now. You just got to keep the car in a straight line as much as you can. We'll see what his maximum speed reaches up to. He's at 210, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 215 miles an hour for Mr. Scuderia Shep. And going a little excitedly into P1 there. But it's only good enough for fourth. We have Tar Heels, who is giving the wall a little kiss there. He's got the Austin Powers classic back and forth. Can't tell if maybe he doesn't want to do a spin turn because he doesn't want to ruin these tires, or if he just doesn't quite understand how to. Oh, he's done it again. Come on, Tar Heels, this is your shining moment. Get that spin turn, buddy, you got it. No, put it in first, do a spin. There oh. There's Shep in the background getting a good watch. He's gonna back out of this one. Okay. He's put it in reverse. He is out. No King Mahavir for Tar Heels today. Meanwhile, his teammate Haystran in the other Red Bull car has taken provisional pole position with a 141.76. Or 7.8, my apologies. So, did a little, sorry for the delay, did a little conversion for our European friends. Shep's speed of 215 miles an hour works out to 345 kilometers an hour. So, making sure we're appealing to our European audience here. Let's see what Semi Thrustmaster can do. In the Williams, he'll go fourth fastest, picking up a 142.276. So a decent lap so far. That will put him into the top 5. I don't think we have anybody else out on an incredibly hot lap. I think we're down for a second. So let's run through our championship standings thus far. Lucasade, who has not come out to set a lap yet, is your Tier 3 championship leader with 274 points. Hot on hot on his heels would be Mr. Tar Heels, who is also sitting in the pits with 244 points. And then rounding out the top 3 is Jimmy Pullup with 209. Jimmy not currently in the lobby, not currently racing. But those are your top 3. So Tar Heels and Lucasade will have quite a battle going on. Lucasade's coming out of the pits now. We'll be able to see what he can do on a lap. That Mercedes car all the way in the back of the pit lane has to work its way up to the front, to the exit, and here he comes. So your championship leader, Lucasade 37 in the Mercedes, coming out to set his first lap here in Azerbaijan. So we will come back. We'll come back and take a peek at him in just a minute. Let's go up to Haystran, who is also on their out lap, so we won't get much detail there. Let's see, who's going to give us some entertainment? Looks like we have the Haas of Adi. And I think these are actually 3-lap-old tires, so maybe getting a little bit of circuit experience out here. The soft tires, they do not last long on this track, only about 4 to 5 laps. So we'll really want to come to the pits before just picking up some major damage. Let's see. We'll ride on board with our previous race winner, Mr. Scooteria Shep, and see what he can deliver for us. Now Lucasade is just behind him, so we'll see what Shep can set on this lap. He's going to go for that provisional pole. Going to get up to 200, 13, 14, 15. Can he hit 16? No, the car just doesn't have it in it. And neither of those is lap. He will remain in 6th position. So Lucas is going to come across the line now. We'll watch this lap here. with no distractions. Ooh, Lucas took a big chunk out of the wall there. That's going to have a major effect on their time. We'll slow them down quite a bit. They seem to still be going at it full speed, so I don't anticipate any damage from that contact. But wow, certainly not a great way to get started out. That'll shake your confidence a little bit. Gets a great exit through here. Now coming into the tricky technical section right here in the middle of the track. We'll see how Lucas can handle it. Gets in good, gets around that corner just right. You can take a tiny bite of the curb, but you really don't want too much because it really unsettles the car. Now coming into this corner, you take all the curb there, take as much as you want, take as much as you need. Coming through the castle section, gets through quite smoothly. Great onboard shot. Coming out into this section, takes a lot of curb there on the exit. Coming down a speedy straight. Going wide out, you got to bring it back in to get through this corner here. Hard braking zone. Gets through it, no problems. Just barely gets close to the wall. But that's about as perfect as you could ask for when it comes to coming through that section here. Coming out, that exit curve really isn't your friend. It used to be, less so today. And snakes through that section. Coming down the straight, we've had Dutch retire from the session. That could be in the pit lane. We will find out here right as soon as we cross the line. Will Lucas get provisional pole? I don't think so. No, Hayscran has it. Lucas with a 142.5. So actually kind of a slow time from Lucasade, with Hayscran actually setting a 140.8, so a great time from Lucasade. So see Dutch retired with a 144.5. I don't think that was in the pit lane. I think Dutch would have liked to have gotten more out of this session. So maybe just an accident picked up from somewhere. Who do we have? So accordingly, everyone's on a hot lap. I think Femi is out here taking a lap. Defending again, you want to get a lot of that curb, so great to see. Coming up through the castle section, you pretty much glide through there. Little squeeze brake at the top, now he gets over on that curb. It plays nice with him. Good to see. Not sure how much time we actually have remaining in this session. We should have, I think we'll know once we clear the yellow flags in Sector 3. Which seemed to be a glitch because there's nobody sitting in Sector 3 at the moment. So Femi will jump up to third with this lap. We got 350 to go in our qualifying session, so a lot of drivers that are currently in the pits will be coming out of them soon, looking to set another hot lap. Vinny 6. Let's talk about Vinny for a second. So Vinny has been knocking at the door of the Fast 5. We always see Vinny putting on good performance and a good show. We see he's been consistent and is actually holding, I believe, the fifth position. Holding the fifth position in the championship currently. Yeah, Vinny actually holding on to fifth. Only has one podium this season, but has just consistently been putting in the points. So it's paid off well for Vinny. He's currently actually out of fuel, so we'll see if we can find a driver who has a little more in the tank, so to speak. How about Lucasade? Lucas on an outlap, really going to be looking to recover from that 142.5. This is a track where you really only get one qualifying lap, right? So after your lap, you have to come into the pits and get fresh tires to get back out. Which we'll see if Vinny has the time to do. It's going to be close. If he can get out of the pits here before the 2-minute mark, I don't think it's going to be possible, though. I don't think Vinny is going to be setting another lap today. He'll probably come out and try. I don't think he's got the time to get out there. Lucas in the meantime will certainly have time to get a lap set, maybe even a back-to-back if he wants to. It's given him an invalidation for that, but it doesn't really matter because this is an outlap. We see Baba Yaga and Talfer also accordingly with an outlap, but Baba Yaga probably will not qualify on that lap. Just enough to get the setup set, and Talfer's actually taken off now. So we'll check in with Talfer. We'll see their times here coming towards the end. Now, does Lucas have any more top speed than Shep did? Shep pretty much topped out at 2:15. We'll see what Lucas can reach here on the straights. Keep pushing, keep pushing. Kisses the 2:15, but doesn't really go above it. So, drivers running similar downforce, maybe Shep with a little bit more. Ooh, Lucas with a little lock up there. Gets through that corner just fine, though. Skates right through it. We'll see what kind of improvement we're seeing in the first sector here from Lucas. Downshifts nicely into this corner here. Little lockup, a little too much curb, that'll knock the car loose, but he's okay for now. Ooh, took a big chunk out of that wall. Still has it on the track though. He's down 7 tenths, so 7 tenths worth of improvement right now. Only enough to get him up to P5. So we'll see what he can do here with the rest of the lap. Comes through the castle section, doing well so far. Oh, gets it really loose in the rear end. No good for Lucas. So now the strategy is going to be he's got 30 seconds. This might be just enough time. No, I don't think he has enough time to get it back around and get another flying lap in. We'll keep an eye on that, but we'll come back to it. We'll keep an eye on it from the leaderboard. Let's get on board with Talfer. He's set a 144.7, so not exactly what they would have been looking for either. But they have what they have. Haystrand out looking to hold dominance on pole position. Currently setting a lap. I think they will be our next fast one across the lap. Vinny is out, but will not be able to set a time. Haven't crossed the line yet. Let's get on board with Haystrand. He will be our next driver across the line. Coming into section 3, I missed what their improvement was. You can see him opening the DRS here, and speed's going up to 11, 212, 213. Haystrand with a 140.7 improves by 1/10 of a second. OCL Fed's going to look to displace that, but needs quite a lot out of this lap. Haystrand, I noticed, did not hit his high top speed, so maybe running a little more downforce than some of the other drivers. OCL will improve by 1/4 of a second, but it's not going to be enough. Shep is out. Shep is already about on the same pace as the previous lap. So I'm not sure if he can find any more in the straights than he already has. But we'll sit on board and check. See exactly what Shep can do here. Shep's going to set just barely faster than last time. Not much improvement there. We catch on board with Talfer, who I believe is not on a flying lap. So this will be your grid order. We'll have, on the front row, we'll have Haystrand and OTL Fed, followed by Femi Thrustmaster, Shep, Vinny, Tar Heels, Lucasade, Abby, Green Hornet, Baba Yaga, Dutch, and Talfer will round out the grid on the 6th row. Row 6. So as qualifying comes to a close, we will give our drivers approximately 2 minutes. This gives them time to set their strategies and complete any other pre-race preparations they may need. And with that, we will also take a short break here in the commentary. And when we come back, we will be on the formation. We'll be gridded up for the formation lap. So all drivers across the line Talfer successfully in the pits. There we are. So your pole sitter, Hayesgrand in the Red Bull, showing a lot of pace lately. Somewhat new to the league, along with OTL Fed, both of them newer guys, but they are lining up here at the top, followed by two older guys, Femi and Scuderia Shep, both drivers who have been around the Performance Racing League a little bit longer, but they'll fill out the second grid. So currently we see the young guns taking the head start. We'll see if that holds on into the race. But until then, we are going to have a 2-minute break, and we will be right back with you for the formation lap. Alright, we have returned on the formation lap. As you saw from the from our good friends at Amazon, we're seeing that the predicted strategy is starting to become quite predictable. We go from a medium tire to a hard tire, or a soft to a medium to a hard. So really only a handful of options here. But we'll see Hayscran coming up to the grid here. Not quite getting the burnout down. But he will line up just as all the rest are lining up with them. Seeing some drivers missing their marks here. And Taufer hit the grid. Oh, he's a little over. Right, so let's get back up to the front as they're preparing for lights out. There we go, I hear the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And there they've been released. Ooh, Hayscran getting a really bad start, actually getting a hit there from, I'm not sure who that was, maybe Femi. It was a blue car, I couldn't quite tell. Lots of mess coming through here, except for OTL Feb getting out nice and clean. Skiderius Shep going in side by side with Femi and has been spun round. So not a great start for Shep. He will need to make a recovery drive for sure to get through the rest of this race. That's paved the way for Femi and Vinny to get up to the front here. Vinny will be challenging all day. Looks like we have Tar Heels also close behind. Looks like a little battle between here the McLaren and the AlphaTauri of Green Hornet. Green Hornet going to let him kind of go. Green Hornet, quite a conservative driver here in the PRL. Lucasade is going to be looking to make a move here. Going up the inside, maybe makes Green Hornet go too deep. Pulls the switcheroo. They're into each other. They're into each other big. We got Green Hornet running on the wall. My goodness, what an incident. No safety car, no VSC. Green Hornet has survived. Crazy action here on the opening lap. Tier 3 never fails to entertain us here. So a big tangle between those two. We may see that in the steward's room later on. Let's catch back up with our leader here. OTL Feb. Going to come down the straight in the lead of this race. Hayscran, our leader, having dropped back and actually already having a penalty. I wonder if that is for contact. You see the rest of our drivers coming down here. It does look like Abby might be making a run on Baba Yaga here. Definitely has the pace advantage. You see the speed differential, just a couple miles an hour. And Abby's deciding to play it smart and step out of that one. We'll be keeping it close, coming through. Ooh, gets a little bump. Oh, that's one Ferrari spun every corner. Go on, Abby, it's already happened. It's already happened, run on. Abby willing to wait and give the position back, but needs to just go ahead and go on. The stewards will handle it later. So now the two Ferraris pick each other up in the back, not where they would like to be, but where they find themselves. And Hayscran, the leader of the race, must have had some kind of penalty that they've already served because they've got medium tires on. And no penalties anymore. Meanwhile, OTL Fed comfortably leading the front. I can't help it. I gotta see what that penalty was for. And you guys can come right along with me in finding that out. Looks like Hayscran got a penalty for a jump start. Wow. So jump start off the line has already served a drive-through penalty for that. That explains Hayscran dropping to the back. It does not explain the poor start. Really unfortunate there for Hayscran's race. In the meantime, we see OTL Fed coming through in the final sector. Leading this race quite comfortably with Semi Thrustmaster sitting just behind and Finney behind them. Currently having a little issue with timing and scoring here, as I don't believe Tar Heels is that far behind. There we go, got a little update. Yeah, all the time starting to sort themselves out now as drivers are coming across the line. So Tar Heels going to be chasing down this group, wants to take the lead, certainly can do it, has the pace. And just behind is his championship rival, Lucasade, who's 3 seconds behind. He's got a yellow, it looks like that's Taufer, who has got spun around as well and is just waiting for the rest of the cars to come on through. Doesn't want to create an unsafe situation. Pulls off the spin turn and gets it going. In the meantime, we see Lucasade falling back behind Green Hornet. I wonder if those two had some more contact. Lucasade was just behind Tar Heels and has slipped back quite a bit, so I don't think it was contact with Green Hornet. Maybe just going a little too deep in one corner or another. We'll see Lucasade will be desperate to try to make that position back up. Let's jump on board with Tar Heels here. Chasing down, ooh, taking a little bump out of the wall there. See if there's any damage on that front corner. The Red Bull, it looks okay for now. You can survive a little bit of wing damage here. It's not critical if you have green to lime to light yellow damage, but any more than that and you will need to get into the pits. Pretty low downforce running here, but you do need what you have. So any loss due to damage is something worth pitting for to get it fixed up. We take a look back and see Haystrand gaining up on Shep, using that battery. Shep's using the battery to defend. So if he's coming down the straight, Haystrand will have the DRS. Shep pulls way to the inside, trying to break that toe. Starting to return back to the racing line. Haystrand's not going to be close enough to make a move this time. Let's jump back up on Tar Heels and Vinny. These two running closely. And Tar Heels just inching closer and closer to Vinny. Cars able to follow quite a bit better this year. Haystrand and Shep getting really close coming through. We're probably near side by side. These two will be a little closer than Vinny and Tar Heels, I'm getting the feeling. So we'll keep an eye on the two of them. Haystrand taking a little bit out of the inside corner there, but recovers nicely. Gonna chase Shep really on Shep's gearbox. Shep not feeling the pressure too much, just scooting on through the track. Going up into the castle section now. We'll come on to another straight. This will be critical to see, is Shep going to use any of that battery he's got saved to stay away from Haystrand? No, he's going to deploy a little bit of battery. Haystrand's not deploying any. Haystrand says, I've got your DRS. I don't need to use my ERS. I'll wait for when I'm ahead of you to do that. Shep in the meanwhile starting to run down, building a little bit of a gap back to Haystrand. I don't know if it'll be enough. Tar Heels is starting to gain and has now passed Vinny, gets it slowed down just fine. And Vinny challenge into the other DRS section. Detection point's right here, right at the 50-meter board, so he will have it. I don't think it's going to get him close enough, not here on this. Let's jump back to our previous battle here with Haystrand coming down the straight, looking to make a move on Shep, just cannot get it done. Haystrand having just set a best third sector, no doubt in part due to the help from Shep. Now Haystrand's a lot closer on the exit of that corner. He's going to look to make a move on Shep, and he's going to get it done too. Shep not even bothering with the battery. Haystrand just with the better exit and the DRS. So now they'll get through the corner just fine. The question is, will they switch back when they come to the next DRS section? Towards the end of the lap and the beginning of the next. Shep continuing to follow Haystrand somewhat closely. In the meantime, Vinny Phipps has fallen away from Tar Heels quite a bit. Now Shep gonna use any of that battery he's got stored up. He's gonna use a little. Wants to try to get caught up to Haystrand here before the DRS zone. That is Femi Thrustmaster out of the race. We see a car there off to the side. Can we get on board with Dutch and maybe see, I guess, coming through this S's section, just got a little too much speed, got into the left wall and then into the right. And that is an abandoned Williams there on the side with Green Hornet and Lucasade now battling each other. Lucasade just now getting past. Oddly enough, we don't see a virtual safety car or a safety car for that stranded car. The Green Hornet really lifting and coasting. I don't think they're that low on fuel. Yeah, the fuel number is a positive 2.5. I believe. Let's see if we can check that better. Yeah, looks to be positive 2.5 on fuel, so not sure why they're lifting and coasting that much. Just taking a conservative line through the corner, I suppose. Not wanting to get into the back of Lucasade. All drivers running here on the medium tire. Scuderia Chef's going to be chasing down Haystrand. They've been chasing each other around the whole time. They will be catching up to Abby, the rookie here in Tier 3. Have not seen Abby racing before. So this will give us a good idea of their pace and their racetrack today. Haystrand inching closer and closer to Abby. This will not please Shep, as Shep has actually fallen out of the DRS, while Haystrand has moved into the DRS of Abby. We're going to move up to Green Hornet. We'll see, will Green Hornet decide to go for a move here on Lucasade? They will probably have the DRS to do so. Gets up on that curb. It's a little slippery over there. Still holding within that section. The car starts to disappear. It will be close into the detection zone. Green Hornet will have DRS. Probably will not be able to go for an overtake, but will be close. Haystrand, in the meantime, for sure, is going to overtake Abby there. Move done quite easily. Now Shep is going to get some of the slipstream. I don't think Shep will have DRS on Abby, not this time around. But we'll continue to chase Abby around the track here. We're going to get that much closer. It's been somewhat of a calm race so far. Everybody on the same tire here. A few spins and a few, there's been a few hot spots of action, but otherwise, nothing much been going on in this race. Abby keeping up with Haystrand quite well through these corners here. Abby maybe running higher downforce. Maybe why it was easier to overtake them on the front stretch. But Abby continuing to keep up. We'll see what they do coming through the castle section up and up into this this last long section here. They're really opening up the throttle. They've kind of fallen off. They have opened the door for Shep to get a little bit closer though. Shep will likely be in the DRS with Abby. Coming up. Looks like Lucasade closed up on Dutch and pulled away from Green Hornet, so we'll see if Lucasade can get a move done. Has to lift a little bit. But is gaining before even any DRS. Is Dutch trying to defend? No, Dutch is going to let him right on by. Dutch doesn't want to be involved. Dutch actually coming into the pits, so we'll see, is this for a hard tire stop, or maybe they have taken some damage? I'm not quite sure. We'll catch up with Shep. Looks like Green Hornet also diving into the pits. So we catch up with Dutch chasing down Abby, who's chasing Haystrand, who's chasing Lucasade. See Taufer retiring. Is that on track? And yes, we will have a safety car for that. I think OTL might give us the first shot of it. We haven't passed it already. No, that's on the other side of the track. So I'm going to guess Taufer pulling the same thing that Femi did. Just getting a little too into the wall and then having to back and forth. Green Hornet coming out of the pits will be chased by a safety car. So this puts Dutch. Oh, Dutch has spun it. Come on, Dutch, get it around. Do a spin turn. You got it, man. Drop it in first gear and give it some gas. No. Dutch says, I'm going to protect the tires. Thanks for the enthusiasm, though. So now Green Hornet's going to be booking it because this is a decent opportunity for everybody to jump into the pits and get hard tires. I believe they will last long enough for all who decide to take them. So OTL Feb's going to be running. Green Hornet and Dutch are going to want to gas it because they're going to want to get caught up to these guys. I think Green Hornet may get a position on Baba Yaga depending on the delta. I don't know if these guys are still following the delta now that the safety car's out. But OTL Fed coming into the pit lane, almost teasing us there as to if they were really going to stop. So this will call Tar Heels. No, Tar Heels is going to, yeah, Tar Heels is going to come into the pits as well. It looks like Vinny will follow. I mean, the pit stop is the smart move here. So we'll see Dutch, or Lucas Aid coming in. Kind of doing a little slowdown action trying to get within that delta. But Lucas Aid will come into the pits. Hayescran following just behind. Abby also deciding to come into the pits. Scuderia. Now Baba Yaga is going to also come in. So Green Hornet now really looking to book it. Will catch some of these drivers. Probably will catch Baba Yaga, maybe Shep. But I don't see them catching anyone else. Dutch holding up just behind Green Hornet, so we'll see if they split anyone. It looks like Baba Yaga has started to move. No, just now getting into the pit lane. The double stack at Ferrari is going to hurt Baba Yaga. That's going to put him behind. Shep and Abby are already making it out. Green Hornet and Dutch will make it well past Baba Yaga. So the Ferrari strategy not quite playing out here for Baba Yaga. It worked just fine for Shep, but Baba Yaga has been relegated to the back of the field. So now everybody will be on the hard tire. Looks like Hayescran moved ahead of Lucas Aid. Lucas Aid getting a little spin there, falling off the side of the track. So this safety car gives us a good opportunity to run through the heroes and zeros for the race so far. No penalties for anyone, so everybody heroic for that. But in terms of position change, looks like our top hero is going to have to be Tar Heels with a strong drive after a poor qualifying up into the podium places, holding on to that second place. We'll be looking to get around OTL. I think they have the pace to do it, but OTL has the pace of their own to show off. I think our other hero here, let's go with Abby. Fresh driver, and they are ahead of Scuderia, Shep, Hornet, Dutch, and Baba Yaga. All good drivers in their own respect. So we will give Abby our other heroic position for their performance off the grid. Driver still queuing up behind the safety car, so we will go around one more time, if not more, but I would assume we only need one. And let's take a quick look at our Fast 5. So that's Tar Heels leading the Fast 5 so far in second place. Only the Fast 3 today. Lucas Aid in the mid-pack here after having some issues and actually diving into the pits. So I'm not sure what Lucas Aid may need a new front wing after the damage. Looks like that's what they've got ready for him. So this will drop Lucas Aid back to the back of the grid and going on soft tires. Oh no! They don't really have much of a choice because they don't have another set of hard or medium tires, so soft's really the only choice. Dutch pulling a similar move. Dutch also needing a front wing? Yes, it looks like it. So both drivers having to get a new wing and soft tires. So this will put them to the back of the field and really mess up their strategies. These soft tires will not make it to the end from here. So really unfortunate for those two drivers. You would think the safety car lap doesn't affect your race that much, but it really can, especially if you have a spin like this that forces you to go onto a strategy that's really not much of a strategy. The other member of the Fast 5 attending today is Scuderia Shep, who has now moved up into Lucas Aid's mid-pack position. Just some silly mistakes for our Fast 3 today. Just not quite giving them... not quite helping them out where they need. I think for our Fast 5, especially with Jimmy and Cher missing, I think we can substitute Vinny and Hayescran in. Hayescran always we've been seeing We've seen him always have pace, took poles for today, has had some issues in the race, but otherwise is a fast driver having a fast race. I think also Vinny Sips, almost the opposite. With Vinny, we don't always see Vinny putting in a great qualifying, but we do see Vinny having great races, staying good and consistent, and really bringing it up through the pack. So the safety car is going to come in for this lap. Now we'll have an interesting lineup. We'll keep an eye and see when OTL Feb accelerates. This can really cause a lot of confusion for the other drivers. Here's increasing speed. There he goes. He's decided to go. He took the battery. Safety car's out of the way. He lifted a little bit, but you gotta go. You gotta go. You can't slow down for that safety car. He's gotta get going, because now he's misled the entire pack. We're gonna see guys in the fast coming up fast behind him. Yeah, you really have to keep going. Abby slows up. All the drivers behind really slowing up after this. So a messy safety car restart. Lucas A gonna go right on ahead of Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga really slowed up for that. Just all the confusion caused here by that messy restart by OTL Fed. So something the drivers really need to learn and pay attention for. You know, even if that safety car is there, if it's out of the way, you know, this is a virtual race. It's not real life. You gotta go. You gotta just run. Can't be holding people up like that. We see Green, is that Hayescran dropping fast. He's putting himself in a strange position here. He gets it spun around and gets going again. So Hayescran having fallen off. Tar Heel's getting a little slippery, but still continuing to chase down OTL Feb. Abby now up into 4th and hunting down Vinny. So Abby looking at maybe a maiden podium in their maiden race in Performance Racing League Tier 3. So we'll keep an eye on Abby, hopefully not give them the commentator's curse, but we will be cheering them on. They've got some tough competition behind them in the speed of Scuderia Shep and the consistency of Green Hornet. So if they can hold on to this, it will be quite the challenge, but I believe they're up to it, and I believe they can do it. Now you gotta be careful, get it slowed down there. You don't want to get too excited coming into that corner too hot. It can be really easy to do, and it can really mess up your race too. So Abby going to be hunting Vinny for this podium place. Now all of these drivers are kind of going to form somewhat of a DRS train coming down from McLaren to McLaren. There they all are in a line. Lucas is really gaining on Green Hornet. They're going to go side by side, no doubt. Lucas is going to get the move done. We'll probably give that position back though when they come in for their other pit stop. Soft tires just do not have it in them to make it to the end of the race. We'll jump back up on Shep, who was not able to get around Abby. Abby not able to get around Vinny. But these drivers still running close. They will have another DRS train going. Well, not yet, though. Right now it's just a slipstream train. Lucas Aid not wasting any time, though. Moves on past Shep. They're going to go side by side. They get through clean. Well done to both drivers. Lucas Aid has the soft tires and is going to make the best of them, knowing they'll have to make a pit stop later. But the farther ahead they can get now, the less hurt they'll have from that pit stop later. A lot of drivers here are going to be looking forward to having that DRS. Abby and Vinny have kept up with each other at the front of this little mid-pack, whereas Lucas Aid is bridging the gap. But in the process, is he going to leave Shep behind? Or will they all stay uptight together? Lucas Aid on the soft tire really making ground on Abby. I don't know if Abby's going to try to defend this position too terribly hard. I wouldn't, especially knowing that Lucas is going to have to come into the pit. Hayes going to get the move done on Baba Yaga coming through here. We'll see Abby. They don't have DRS yet, but we'll have quite the slipstream. Lucas on the soft tire is going to be looking to get around Abby using that battery. They want to get it done. They want to keep moving up and try to get a podium. They will get around. Now they'll be trailing Vinny, and they are close enough to get DRS into the next zone. But Abby's also going to have the DRS on Lucas Aid, so Abby won't fall away too far. We'll just stay caught up, and honestly, when Lucas Aid gets around Vinny, we'll probably just tie up right behind Vinny again. So now when Vinny tried to defend too much from these guys, Vinny actually has pulled out quite a bit of a gap with Lucozade. Lucozade really struggling in the corners here. Maybe running too low downforce, or maybe he doesn't have the suspension in quite the way they would like it. But right now, the DRS train holding steady. Again, we're going from pretty much McLaren to McLaren. Dutch has fallen off of Shep a little bit, but can still see him in his sights, and is going to push up to catch up. Has now gotten within that 1 second. Shep giving a little slider into the wall. So now the train broken up a little bit. Abby's fallen off of Lucozade as Lucozade's really chasing down Vinny. If Vinny can hold Lucozade up, then that might give Abby a chance to get back there. It's happened. Abby's back in Lucozade's DRS. Gonna need a good run down the straight, but I think so. With two cars punching air in the hole, punching air in a hole in the air for Abby. This should allow Abby to stay close enough to get that DRS. Lucozade doesn't need the DRS. He says, "I'm gonna go on past you. See ya, sucker." And he is gone. We'll get the DRS as well, so Vinny really in a tough position here. Abby having DRS. Gonna push up on Vinny, so now Vinny's really gonna have to defend from Abby coming into this next corner here. Now Vinny would love to stay within touching distance of Lucozade to keep up with that Mercedes, keep up in that DRS. Probably not going to happen though. The soft tire really powerful around here until it starts to wear, which should be quite soon for Lucozade and Dutch. So their reign of fast running will come to an end shortly. In fact, may already be starting as Lucozade hasn't really pulled out much on Vinny here. And Dutch continuing to just slip further and further back on Shep. So Dutch will need to come in and get the hard tire here soon. May want to do that on this lap. Because the hard tire will last well to the end of the race from here. And you might as well use it as much as you can without flipping and sliding on the softs any longer than you have to. Hayes going to make a move on Green Hornet there. We missed the action, but we will see it on the feed. Shep really closing up on Abby. Abby going to continue to try to close up on Vinny. Oh, Abby taking a big hit getting into the wall there. So tough for Abby, and that's pulling out a yellow in sectors 2 and 3. Now goes sector 2. Really tough for Abby, just got a little too excited, got on the accelerator a little too hard, and that has broken up the train now. There is no DRS coming down through here. I don't think Shep is in the activation, no. Shep is in the slipstream though, which doesn't need any activation, it's just pure physics, folks. This will put Shep close enough to get DRS on the next one. And Shep has had high top speeds here on this track. Vinny's going to need something to defend, going to need to use some of that battery. Both drivers running at about the same battery. Lucozade has pulled out of DRS, but is not too terribly far ahead. So depending on when they come in for those tires, Abby coming in to get a fresh wing. Vinny may be able to close up on Lucozade a little bit if those tires really start going out under Lucozade. Shep in the meantime, the only one in DRS range. Abby having to go on the soft tire as well. Probably will not make it to the end from here. Shep being a little adventurous with the track limits, but I think it works. Hayescran making big moves on those hard tires. Had set the fastest lap not too long ago. So we will see him joining the party soon. In the meantime, let's watch the battle between Shep and Vinny carry on. These two a little bit more evenly matched on pace, and without Abby in the middle to both block and pull Shep along. It's just become a duel between these two. Shep certainly close enough for DRS this time, using a little battery to help get him closer. Here's the DRS activation. The battery goes off. The flap opens, and he is pushing to catch Vinny. Vinny's going to see him coming up. I don't think Shep's going to go for this. It's a little bit too risky. But we'll be right in line to try to get it on the next. There's Dutch coming in. Dutch has had enough of the soft tire. Hops back onto that hard tire. We'll hopefully be able to finish from here. Shep will continue to chase Vinny. Now really closing up after the way Vinny went through that corner. These two keeping it quite close. Oh! Wow, major stuff from Vinny into that corner, but slams on the brakes enough to keep Shep behind. Not for long though. Shep's going to have slipstream and DRS. Is Vinny on the battery yet? No, not yet. And I don't know if Vinny will go on the battery. He may just let Shep have this one. Does go on the battery, a small amount. Not sure if it's worth fighting though. Yeah, Shep breezes right around him. Staying in the slipstream as long as possible. And now with Lucozade up ahead. Lucozade is in the podium places, but he'll probably have to take a pit stop. I don't think those soft tires are going to make it till the end of the race, despite Lucozade's pace. Oh, Shep, come on, get through the corner, buddy. So now Vinny going to fight back with a much better exit through that corner. They're going to be neck and neck here. Is Shep going to use any battery? No, they're both out. They're going to go side by side. Shep holding on to it, Vinny having to back out just a little bit. And Hayscran wanting to join the party. He's bringing a little bit more pace than these guys, having been our pole sitter. So Hayscran's going to make this a three-way battle for the just outside the podium place, which will probably become third place with Lucozade taking a pit stop. Unless Lucozade can push these tires to the very end, which I would love to see. I think it would make for something great to watch. Great show of skill, if he can. I just don't think he can. But we'll continue. Maybe Lucozade's got something in his pocket that I don't know about. And I think with this performance, I think Vinny's certainly able to graduate up into the Fast Five, especially where the other members are not currently present. So Shep, Vinny, and Hayscran, another honorary Fast Five member, all three battling here in the middle, looking for that last podium place held by another member of the Fast Five, Lucozade, who will probably drop it off when he comes into the pits. So running down now, Shep is really close up on Lucozade, will be in the slipstream, and might even get DRS coming into this next one. That's Hayscran making the move on Vinny. Hayscran just with a load of pace, not sure where it comes from. It must be on corner exit. And has actually left Vinny somewhat in the dust. Is that right? No, sorry. Vinny working on catching up to Scuderia Shep, who's pulled away and is really getting up under Lucozade now. Has that DRS power. Not going to be able to make the move this time, so Shep wisely backing out. But he's going to stay right on Lucozade's gearbox. Now let's see if Lucozade makes any mistakes coming through here. He's got a lot of pressure coming from behind him with Shep. Ooh, having dropped back quite a bit. Shep with a rough exit out of that corner. Still close enough to get DRS though. We know Lucozade's quick, but has been prone to mistakes, so can I get him with the commentator's curse? Or will he hold on and have some resolve? Lucozade really holding up Shep and Hayscran. This is allowing Vinny to get caught up to the both of them. With a big hole in the air, Vinny might be able to make up some ground here. Is going to use the battery for just a brief second. Lucozade coming gingerly into this corner. Shep closing right up on him. Vinny needs a little bit closer to get that DRS. He knows he can get it. He sees the drivers ahead going slow. He won't quite be in spot to get it. We'll stay on board with Hayescran, who's going to have a great view of the action. Looks like Shep and Lucasade getting a little loose just ahead. There's one car passed. Hayescran wants to shoot the gap. Is he going to go right in between the two cars? Lucasade coming off to the side. Lucasade quite slow, going to dive into the pits. And Hayescran getting the move done on Shep. 3 wide down the straight. That's some excitement right there. Thank you, Tier 3. Always ready to perk you up on a Sunday afternoon. Wow. What a move from Hayescran, just shooting it right between the middle of those two. Now making it a Red Bull podium, with OTL leading and kind of running away with the race in this Alfa Romeo. OTL Feb, somewhat of a new driver to Tier 3, but has shown pretty solid performance throughout. Lucasade now hopping onto another pair of soft tires. So Lucasade says, I've cut through the field once, I'll do it again, just watch me. And I tell you what, if a safety car came out soon, it would be right in position to do it. Abby setting a new fastest lap. Well done to Abby. I would not be too surprised if Lucasade displaces that soon. But well done to Abby anyway. So Vinny now having the opportunity to catch up to Shep, and Shep trying to catch up to Hayescran here. All these drivers running about the same pace. Haven't really left each other since they've gotten bunched up from the safety car. Ooh, Shep getting into the wall. I can hear it from Vinny's perspective. Vinny about to get into the wall, but stays back. Shep is going to be in the slipstream, and we'll get into the DRS. Vinny, maybe not. Vinny trying to get a good exit. Shep falling out, in, of DRS. He's going to stay in it. He's going to have it. Vinny will not. So he's going to fall behind these two a little bit. He's using as much battery as he can to try to get caught up. But it's just not going to happen. I think it's going to come down to Shep and Hayescran battling for that third position. Meanwhile, Green Hornet and Baba Yaga having moved up the field quite a bit. Both drivers, I recall, starting a little bit closer to the back. By preference for Lucasade. Baba Yaga. So Shep able to follow Hayescran quite closely. It's going to be close to the DRS zone. Will they have the DRS? I don't know. But they are going to keep it close. Shep's actually falling away a little bit now. Bad corner here and a bad corner there, and all of a sudden he's falling away from DRS. So coming into the final 20% of the race here. We see OTL Feb leading. Oop, that's still Shep. We got OTL Feb holding the lead here quite comfortably away from Tar Heels, who follows in second place. Filling out the podium for Red Bull is Hayescran, who's followed somewhat closely by Shep, but Shep has had a few issues here and there falling back. Shep vying for that final step on the podium, but needs to put in some better performances and maybe save up a little bit of battery to get there. Meanwhile, Vinny Sips just following from behind, waiting to pick up any scraps if those two were to tangle. Green Hornet with a good race, making a good recovery drive after being ran up into the wall by Lucasade. I see a yellow in Sector 1. I believe, is that for Lucasade? That is for Lucasade, who is in the runoff area getting passed by Dutch there. So Lucasade just not his race. This could shake up the championship here between Lucasade and Tar Heels, the gap only being 30 points, and the point structure in, and he's got no front wing either. So Lucozade will be coming into the pits. We'll be finishing probably behind Abby because it's just so late in the race. So super unfortunate for Lucozade. Not even sure what tires they'll go on. Maybe the hards. I think that's all they have left. So really unfortunate for Lucozade here. OTL Feb going to be looking to take their first win in PRL. Hopefully that's not a jinx, but we'll keep an eye on them so far. Tar Heels continually just looking a little bit back, little bit by little bit, falling back off OTL. So I do not think we'll see OTL. I don't think we'll see Tar Heels on the top step of the podium. Hayscran and Shep have separated quite a bit, so I think these two will finish as they run. Dutch picking up a time penalty for warnings. This will open the door for Lucozade. Well, no, Lucozade's going to have to pit for that wing, I'm sure. Won't want to, especially knowing that they could have made the move on Dutch, but just going to have to bring it in and let that be what it is. Vinny now in the top 5. A great drive like we usually see from Vinny. Green Hornet, as I said, is caught up after being ran up into the wall, so a good recovery drive by Green Hornet here. Fabio Viaga with a good drive coming up from the rear of the grid where they prefer to start. We'll be getting a decent points haul here. Then followed by Dutch, Abby, and Lucozade, all three of whom have had tough races today. Hayscran actually starting to close up on Tar Heels a little more than Shep is closing on Hayscran. So I'm sure Tar Heels at first loving having a fast teammate, but now maybe not so sure, especially with where the championship's starting to shape up between Tar Heels and Lucozade. Tar Heels is going to need all the points he can get from this race. I don't think they'll overtake Lucozade in this race, but with a similar performance next race, I think we'll see Hayscran moving up. We'll see Tar Heels moving up against Lucozade with a similar performance in the next race. We're about to the halfway point of the season here in PRL. The 7th round in Azerbaijan. Running a 18 or 19 race calendar this year in the Performance Racing League. So not quite at the halfway point, but quite close. Hayscran continuing to close up on Tar Heels. Will they be close enough by the end of the race? I don't know. That'll be something to watch for certain. Tar Heels will be hoping to keep that gap. Hayscran will be hoping to eliminate it, and Hayscran actually close enough to start getting a little bit of benefit out of the slipstream. The two Red Bulls will be running close. Hopefully they don't see a repeat of the disaster that the Red Bulls saw in Azerbaijan in, 2017? 2016, 17, 18, between Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen. I'm not sure which year it was, but it's one of those three. Hayscran really pulling up on Tar Heels now. Tar Heels going to be feeling the pressure from Hayscran. Vinny Six also looking to close up on Shep. I don't know if they will get that door completely closed. They will be pushing for it. Tar Heels seeming to keep the racecraft in good shape despite the pressure from his teammate. I'm not sure if these two have any kind of communication. I don't know, maybe they're saying, hey, let's just fight this one out. Or if there's some team orders going into effect. If Tar Heels is going to get overtaken by Hayescran, now is the time to let it happen, so that way he has a lap to charge that battery with the DRS, and then a lap to overtake with the battery and the DRS. So Tar Heels may not want to be putting up too big of a fight here for this one. Let's see if Hayescran can get close enough to actually make something happen. We've seen Hayescran make some big moves down the straight here. Using that ERS already, just before the DRS kicks in. Saving a little bit of battery, not too much though. Getting closer and closer behind Tar Heels. It's tight, it's aggressive, don't want to give him too much of a bump there. Don't want to hit your teammate, don't want to knock him out. Tar Heels going to go through the corner now. We'll see if there's any team orders in play here. I don't think so. Just based off how they went into T1. Hayescran going to continue to close up on Tar Heels. Definitely will have DRS now. Tar Heels with a rough entry to that corner. Really let Hayescran close up. These two are going to be battling to the end. Tar Heels needs to hold him off for 2 laps. Can he do it? I don't know. Actually, just a lap and a half now. Tar Heels been pretty cozy in second place most of the race. This challenge from Hayescran is certainly not expected. Before they get to the straight, let's see if Vinny can make any gains on Shep. Shep maybe abusing those tires a little bit more. Vinny going to be looking to get something done before the end of the race. Only going to really have one opportunity to get it done. Hayescran's falling off Tar Heels and scrapes the wall there. This is going to be part 1 of 2 for his shining moment to get this position, this final spot on the podium. Hayescran, best result so far is 3rd, so this would be an improvement if he can get it done. He's got DRS and slipstream down the straight. Not going to be enough on this go. Can he get maybe some DRS on Tar Heels coming through? And then he's about 7-8 tenths off Shep, so I don't expect to see much coming from their side of the track. Okay. Hayescran closing up on Tar Heels, not going to make the move here. It will come down to a battle on the final DRS straight unless Hayescran does something a little drastic, which is probably not going to be recommended here. Ooh, Hayescran a little loose on the curb. That will keep them back. Vinny, I don't think going to be close enough to Shep to make an impact or a difference. Abby's going to stay ahead of Lucasade, especially with Lucasade's penalty, although Lucasade closing quick, so Abby maybe with a little issue. That's down the straight. We'll tune into those two in just a minute. Ooh, Abby actually coming into the pits. Maybe for a wing or something, I'm not really sure, but it was not the time to come in. Lucasade setting the fastest lap on the hard tire. Abby has actually retired, so wanted to retire from the race without finishing it. Not entirely sure the thought behind that, but okay. Hayescran with a very poor exit. That's not going to help him get this position. Meanwhile, OTL Feb going to go on to win the race. Tar Heels will probably hold this off from Hayescran. Hayescran does not get the best exit. And Tar Heels using the battery that he doesn't have. Hayescran's going to be coming up close. 4 tenths, 2 tenths. 1/10, they're going to be close. Hayescran, I think, made the move. Hayescran got it done. Amazing comeback from Hayescran. Having qualified on pole, falling back majorly after a jump start, going all the way to the back and coming all the way back up to the front. So Hayescran clearly just looking for a challenge, and a challenge was found. So that's a first to last to second challenge. Not recommended, but was what was done. So OTL Feb, your winner of the race. Pretty quiet race for them. They got up to the front and held it. Quite exciting race. We had little pockets of action here and there. Hayscran and Tar Heels will fill out the podium with Red Bulls. Shep, the next one down. A good result for Shep, just barely holding off Vinny, although Vinny was not far behind. Green Hornet with a good race to get caught up after getting into the wall. Baba Yaga, good race from the back of the grid. Dutch with some issues early, but managed to recover and finish just ahead of Lucasade, who has crossed the line now. We'll see who our driver of the day comes out to be, and it is Hayscran. I think all those overtakes late in the race helped out. Drivers now on the podium. A great race here with some pockets of some high intensity action. But otherwise, drivers kind of holding to their qualifying positions. So your final grid order, you have OTL Feb taking a maiden win in PRL after second place last weekend, followed by Hayscran and Tar Heels to round out that Red Bull top podium. Shep and Vinny will come up next, two other members of the Fast Five, Vinny being kind of an honorary member, but still a member, well enough. Green Hornet with a good recovery up from 9th on the grid. Baba Yaga starting towards the back came up to 7th. Well done. Same for Dutch. Good recovery race for the two of them. Lucasade, one of our last drivers to finish, having had some issues just getting into walls. So Lucasade will drop down in the championship. I don't think they will give it up to Tar Heels, but they will drop down. Abby here did receive a position, even though retiring one lap early. Not sure what happened with Abby there. And then Talfer and Femi not finishing the race, but was good to see Femi qualifying up so high. Just had issues in the S's, and that's what knocked him out. So this has been your race in Azerbaijan in the Performance Racing League in PRL T3. I'm Tak Delta. I'm appreciated having you along with me. Come back and see us next weekend. We will be with my northern neighbors in Canada for the Canadian Grand Prix, and we look forward to seeing all of you there. Bye-bye.